Hey guys, Kev here, and I just wanted to do a quick overview of my current KAP or Kinetic Asia Pacific Collection. They are all spinners, and I just got a package from them. I did an unboxing, but I think I'm just going to delete it because it was a very long one, and it started with something unrelated, and I'd rather just, keep it a little shorter to the point. So as you can tell, this has escalated quickly. So it started with me buying this Zirc spinner by itself, just the Zirc spinner, and they sent me this with it to try, and I fell in love with this and this, and then I was kind of told about how amazing tungsten is, and this has all happened in the last month and a half, basically. And so I hunted down a tungsten Horizon, same model as this. This is Zirc, this is tungsten. And then I really liked that when I got it, so then I was like, I'll find a Mega Horizon, because this is supposed to be like the end-all, be-all spinner. So this is a tungsten Mega Horizon. And then I was kind of all in at that point, and I had ordered this button that came, I believe, with this spinner. And so I had these two, but one nice button or shoes. Button is the, this button part, obviously. We also call them shoes. So I was like, you know what? I need nice shoes for all my spinner, because this is how I roll. I'm not going to be swapping them back and forth all the time. It would be way cheaper and make more sense, but, I don't always roll like that. So I went a little crazy, and I ordered 3 more sets of buttons. So I got another set for this spinner, and then I got one each for these two, and then I ordered this spinner, which is a tungsten collision, and they can now do a bead blast finish on tungsten, by the way. So got that done. I believe I got the first one in the bead blast. I also got a boatload of C bearings. So I was just messing around, swapping all the bearings out on things. So I have a bunch of the C bearings. I just kind of put everything in here. I probably have like 7 or 8, maybe more than that, honestly, of the C bearings. I have a bunch of the regular stock ones. I have a couple Type A bearings from KAP. If you want to know more about that, I think I have a video swapping bearings, and Preston over at Big Mitts and Fidgets has a lot of videos on bearings. You could probably get more information from that. I don't want to go through it, but basically, if you like pure feedback and sound, you want Type C bearings in your spinners. I would say in your heavier material spinners. If you want like really good spin and just a very smooth but still good feedback, I would recommend the Type A bearings. The Type C bearings look like this. They're like a black ceramic cage with black balls. And the Type A's look like this. They're a white ceramic cage with black balls. There's also a Type B, which is white with white. Those I find aren't very good, in my opinion. They're good in the sense that they're smooth, they spin long, but they don't give you a lot of feedback or sound. So it's up to you if you want quiet, you know what I mean? So anyway, I got all that stuff. And then I was messing with the bearings, and I did try the C bearings in the Ultem spinners. So yeah, I should say I got this Ultem. I asked her if she was going to make, I say she because the person over at KAP, I believe, is a woman. She is. I asked if she was going to make a full-size Ultem collision, because I really like this one. This is one of my favorite spinners. I'd be hard-pressed if you took everything away from me and said I could have one spinner. I'd be hard-pressed not to choose this one, to be honest. Or this one. Or, okay, I'm going to shut up. But anyway, she was like, yeah, I'm doing full-size Ultem. So I ordered the tungsten full-size collision, and I also got the Ultem full-size collision. So I was swapping bearings when this package came in today, and I put C's in everything, right? I already had them in these two, so I just had to put them in all. I had it in this too, so these 3 and some other stuff I have, like the Axis Micro. Unfortunately, this is not mine. This is Sean's. I bought it, but then I stupidly sold it before I got it, thinking I would prefer this one in tungsten. But I don't. There's just something about the feel of this one that just, and the sound just does it for me. So I'm kind of pissed that I let that go. And then I also have the Nests. Absolutely love these. These are probably, I almost said my favorite, but I've said that like 5 times. But these are so good because that weight is all out on the wings. The sound is amazing. These buttons from NJT Hand Power are sick. But anyway, back to KAP. I tried C's and everything, including the Ultem. And what happened was they sounded great. They spun pretty good. But what would happen is you'd spin it like this. And I like to rest the spinner on my finger like this and kind of look at it and feel it for a little bit. And then I'll stop and I'll spin and I'll flick. And then I'll kind of, you know, just chill if I'm on my phone or something. You know, I'll rip it and then kind of like let it chill while I'm doing something or whatever, right? Well, with the C bearings, when I did this right here, it would just, there's so much feedback with C bearings, which is what makes them good. The Ultem is such lightweight material that it can't handle that, basically. If you're just going to hold the spinner like this, if you're just going to hold it like this, or maybe rest it on your thumb like this, you should be fine. But if you're like me and you like to occasionally, you know, do this while you're driving or walking or whatever, it's not going to work. You can see how it like rattled there for a second and then it jumped off my finger. Imagine that like times 10. And that's what happens with the C bearing. This is doing it, but it'll kind of like correct itself. You'll see in a second. I'll get it to do it without it. So it comes and goes a little bit on the Ultem spinner. See, now it's fine. It might pick up again once it slows down, but I can chill with this. You know what I mean? And with the C bearing, it's just always doing that jumpy stuff, and it's just flying all over the place. So you get the sound and the benefit of the C bearing with this A bearing, in my opinion. The C bearing didn't really sound that much better in this spinner. And you get a little bit of a smoother ride, I guess, less feedback, which in an Ultem spinner apparently is something you want, because you just don't want the spinner jumping off your finger constantly because it's annoying. So I just want to give that feedback. And then I got all these sweet buttons. So you'll see here, what I did was I put half and half on. So you have this sort of cool burst one here, and then you have this green one here. Well, then flip it over, boom, burst, and then green. So I did it that way. So that way I kind of have both on both. And I think it still looks fine. I did the same thing here. And so you have that starburst pattern, or you just have that purple and blue color, and then you flip it over, boom, you got green. So I kind of think that is cool. And you can see the sides of these look identical. So it's kind of cool. You can do that, and they still look the same around the sides, if that makes sense. So you're not like, from a side angle, it doesn't look weird that you have different buttons on there. So you just see it from this side or this side or whatever, right? Anyway, you get my point. If I had to choose, right, like what's my favorite spinner from KAP right now? It would be a really hard choice, guys. I haven't spent enough time with this. People keep telling me this is like the end game spinner or something. I like it a lot. I hated it out of the box like everything else. And by the way, my finger is all fucked up, so it hurts to spin this one. And some of the other ones with harder corners. These have less of a sharp corner, so it's still relatively fine to spin. So I can't really say this one would be my favorite just because I haven't messed with it enough. And honestly, it's a big, heavy spinner, and it's going to be like a desk spinner. And that's the same thing I feel about the Horizon Mega. This one sounds amazing. So let's start over. Let's go through them from my last purchase to my first, and we'll talk about the sound, the feel, and you know, where I would rank it or whatever. We could do that, right? So we have 6. So maybe we'll do 6 rankings. We'll see. This is the Collision full size in tungsten. It is heavy. It's probably the heaviest spinner. I don't know if it's the heaviest spinner KAP makes in tungsten, but it is absolutely a chunker. It's definitely the heaviest one I probably own. It's got a little more weight than the Mega, I think, just because it's like full-on tungsten, where this has the cutout. Although it's a little bit meatier on the ends on the Mega. I do still think this is slightly heavier on the Collision. You have these really nice chamfered corners, which normally when you don't have a wound there, it doesn't hurt to spin. It just, you know, you get good grip on it. Again, this is bead blasted, which looks fantastic. And you can really rip the corners with it. You have these nice big buttons. Of course, I swapped them out. It comes with tungsten buttons. These all come with buttons that match the body. So you have tungsten for the Mega, right? Those buttons. You have tungsten for the OG. Again, tungsten for the Collision. And then you have Zirc. You have Zirc for the Zirc. And that's how they come. I hate stock buttons, especially from KAP. They seem to be trash. No offense. I love KAP, but their buttons seem to be like throwaways. They're basically like, hey, buy fancy ones from us because we sell them. It's their way of getting you to buy their fancy buttons is to give you shit ones. Same with the bearings, I feel like. But maybe I am new to the spinner hobby, so maybe, that's just how it is, and I should shut up. Fair enough, but it's my opinion. The buttons are different for the Mega and the Collision, but I don't think these are actually like the custom ones that I had made. But you can see the difference here, right? These are more. It's like almost like a pizza pan plate, and this is more of it's got a little more of an indent. I don't know, it's interesting. Are they the same width? Looks like the Mega button is a little bit wider, so I don't know if these are identical or not. Probably should have thought of that. Let's see. I would venture to guess they're identical. They look awfully like they're identical. Technically, I had the green one, so if I take these off, maybe we could see what they feel like. I haven't messed around with these a ton. I just got all this today. So if we take this one, I know that I had this one made. Oop, what's going on here? Huh? Oh, the post just stuck into that one. Oh, that sucks. I guess the post just got stuck. Right? Green. Yeah, that's funny. I gotta try to get it to come off with the other side, I guess. Ugh. Wow. It's so funny to me. Alright, well, let's just compare them. To me, they look identical. I don't really see a difference. Like, they don't look like the pizza dish and the non-pizza dish. And they honestly look the same exact size in this case. So, I'm just going to leave it the way I had it. Mainly because I can't really do anything else right now. I don't want to grab pliers or anything. Alright, put this back. Fun fact, by the way, the Mega Horizon is the only one that you can't set down and have it spin. Just make sure. It's the only one you can't spin like this. Like all the other ones, you can spin on the table. This one you can't. It's just got too much meat. Too much meat on the wings. I don't know, I just think that's funny. Alright, so I got this one. And I got this button for it, and it's tungsten. All right, I'm going to start shutting up now. It's got a C bearing in it, and you can rip it. It's got decent sound. I will say with the C bearing and the buttons, I expected more. It rips really nicely. It is a chunk of tungsten. It's a heavy boy. It's not something I would carry in my pocket, I think. Maybe around the house, but not like out and about or anything. But it is fun. So far, I'm having fun with it because it really feels like you're chucking a brick around, and that's why obviously people love tungsten, and I think that's why people are really talking this one up in particular. The acoustics aren't as good as I want it to be on this one. Now, when you're not in a room with an air conditioner going on and shit, it does sound a lot better, but it's not my favorite acoustically. But I hated it out of the box, and I already like it a lot more just a couple hours later. So we'll see what happens over the next week or so, you know. So that's the Collision full size in tungsten. I think as of right now, I might put this at the bottom of the list. And this list is really close, guys. I love all of them. But I think I would put this at the bottom of the list. Number 6. Then the one I got before that is the... Well, no, technically I got this with that one. And this is the Ultem Collision full size. And I have an A bearing in there from KAP. And I just love the sound and the feel of the Ultem spinners. They just are amazing. I like watching the warp on the Collision. I think it looks really good. You can see I got that sort of shake going on there. And that will happen, like I said, but not constantly like with the C bearings. So it can be annoying. But, yeah, I don't know. It's just a thing you gotta deal with, I guess, if you want to rock the full ceramics. I don't know. I tested a hybrid in here, and it didn't really shake at all. So, it could just be the side I'm on, too. Let me switch sides. Just gonna rest it on this thing. Oh, okay, yeah. So... But if you use your thumb, it's a lot less likely to happen. I don't know what the deal is with all that, but it's not cooperating right now. But anyway, I really love the Ultem pieces. There's just something about them. They're really pocketable, if that makes sense. Like, I can carry these when I go to my parents' house, which is a lot. I go there with my kid almost every day after a work day, or, you know, a school day for her daycare. So having something lightweight that's still fun, that I can, you know, play around with while we're sitting around at my parents' house watching Coco Melon or whatever, makes a big difference. And I like having that lightweight feel. So I can throw, you know, in my pouch, I can throw this or that. And, you know, like right now I have a haptic coin in there. And that's my go-to setup, right? A spinner and a haptic coin, or a spinner and a slider. So this is really high on the list. Now I got it today, so it's kind of like, again, I can't put it at the top. So I got to put it number 5. All right. And then I got this one before that, and this is the Mega Horizon, and this one, it just sounds like an absolute tank. It's a little too heavy for me to want to carry around, but around the house, this thing is phenomenal. Just sounds like something menacing is coming at you. Wants to take your legs out. I'm just kidding. But listen to this thing roar. All right, that was me just kind of stuttering there. Downsides. It's heavy as hell, not very portable. I know some guys, like Preston, they'll carry 3 of these around in their pocket. Like, good for you guys. I just don't roll like that. I wear lighter weight clothes, I guess. And these pouches I have are great, but, like, I still don't want my pant leg, like, hanging down the side. You know what I mean? So this is more of a at-home desk kind of situation. But it's utterly fantastic. Sounds amazing. Just really fun to rip. Type C bearing in there from KAP. And it's, again, like the Collision, you just feel like you're chucking a brick across the room when you get a good rip on this. It's super satisfying. It honestly gives you a dopamine kick when you rip the shit out of this. So this is very high up there, but again, it's sort of a desk toy, so I think it's gonna go somewhere around here. Then I got this one. This is the Tungsten OG Horizon, or regular size Horizon, and KAP C bearing, superconductor buttons. They all have that, obviously. And this one just fits my hand so well. The Mega is good. It's fantastic. Fits my hand really well. But it is a little big, right? Like, it's a little bit of an adjustment every time you pick it up. It's also very heavy and like I said, feels like you're chucking something across the room, which can be amazing. But at the same time, it can also be a hindrance to the item. This is a tungsten spinner that I will put in my pouch and carry with me. And that makes a huge difference, right? This might sound a little better and feel a little better as you're ripping the shit out of it, but this will actually go in your pocket and go with you when you're in the car, when you're wherever, right? So it's more likely for me to put it higher on the list, if that makes sense. And I just love the feel of the OG Horizon, the way it fits my hand, the ergos, the way I catch that chamfer over there, and the air conditioner stopped at a perfect moment. This just has this amazing buzz to it for me. And I know to some people this sounds like something screeching almost. But this just sounds amazing to me. The combination of an epic spin, the C bearing in this particular one is just fantastic. The combination with the button, just everything kind of combines on this OG Horizon here and just makes it absolutely sing. And just, it's one of the best spinners I've ever handled. I haven't handled a ton, but if you basically, said you could only have one, Kev, forever, that's it, just one, I'd be struggling to pick between these two probably. But I'd probably ultimately go with the Tungsten because while that's epically more portable and everything, this one does give me more satisfaction overall. Just amazing. The only other one that would rival it right now is probably my OG Nest with the NJT hand power, Zirc buttons, and the KAP C bearing. Just something about this one. The small button, the way it just feels in the hand, the warping, the design, the way it catches on your finger, how it's spread out to the wings, the weight just, man, it's so good. I love this. But I do feel the same way about this. All the way to Atlanta when I went down there to QC Knives a couple weeks ago, this one was in my hand 90% of the time. Absolutely love it. So that's the OG Horizon and Tungsten. That's going right at the top. And then I got these two at the same time. So I guess we'll start with the Ultem. And this is the mini collision in Ultem. That's the full size over there. There's just something special about this spinner. The size, again, like the OG Horizon, the way it, for my hand, catches the spot where I can just rip from a standstill. Like, I'm getting epic rips without even wristing it. Like, look at that. I can't do that with the full size. This feels great in the hand. I can rip it, right? It feels good to rip. And again, I don't have as much, play time with this one as that one. But it doesn't feel quite as snappy as this one with those rips. Now, if I, I'm learning how to snap it with this one. I love how they all just kind of want to roll away when you put them sideways. But there's just something about this particular one right here that just, I don't know, I can just play with this, as Sean would call it. I can jib and jab with this one all day and just never get bored. This one could carry in my pocket any day of the week, and it's amazing because of the lightweight factor. I think that's what kind of notches it above any of the tungsten ones or other materials, is it's just so lightweight. It disappears. You can put it anywhere, even up your... I'm just kidding. So I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard. I want to like do a battle video or something with these two. I think like my brain says go tungsten OG because, you know, it costs more, it's more fancy, it's got the weight to it, right? But my heart says go Ultem Mini Collision. So I'm going to go Ultem Mini Collision as number 1. Then we have the Zirc OG Horizon. So this is the same model as that one, right? And that one basically, but this is the Mega. You see that? So the buttons will spin sitting. That's funny. Okay, so it's the only one where the buttons will spin sitting. Got it. This is actually amazing. I got this first because I didn't think I'd be into tungsten. It also wasn't available. I really like Zirc. I just think it looks cool. I did get it with the balls. So the Horizons, you can get balls to put in, and it makes louder sounds and stuff. They're horrible. I don't recommend them because they slow your spin time down. Like, it's not... I'm not a spin time whore like I used to care about. Like, it spins for 5 minutes. Like, it's so funny how things change so fast. But I know Preston's cracking up right now. But it literally, like, kills your spin time. You'll spin it, and, like, right now it'll already be stopping. Like, it just kills your spin. Like, yeah, you can get epic rips with it, but then it's like, and it just stops. And I just can't deal with that. My brain can't handle that. Plus, I like how clean and awesome this sounds by itself. So this has a KAP C, superconductor button, and it's lighter weight. You know, Zirc, in my opinion, has always kind of seemed like a heavier material. Because I come from the knife world where everything's titanium, and when you have Zirc on a knife, it adds a good bit of weight, right? And so we look at it like a pretty heavy material. Well, in the spinner world, Zirc is kind of like one of the lighter materials. And this feels, after handling all the tungsten all the time, this feels like a toy. Which it is, obviously, but it feels like, you know, like one of the Ultem ones or something. But it has this amazing just feel and action to it. And it has this buzz like a... I don't know, it sounds like a hornet with the Type-C bearing. Just sounds like a hornet buzzing around. And this is an absolute pleasure. I still regularly will throw this one in the pocket instead of that one or that one. I really enjoy it. So it's one case where, you know, you don't have to have tungsten. I still absolutely love this Zirc OG Horizon. This is a really interesting sort of concept to try to rate these because it's really hard. You don't need to rate your stuff. But honestly, I think maybe I would put the Zirc one in the slot right here. Because I tend to use it more. As badass as this is, it doesn't get carried or used as much because of the weight. Of course, I just spun it one time and now I'm like... And then this one, I just haven't had enough time with. See, with the air conditioner off, it sounds way better, doesn't it? It all does. Also, I was told that bearings break in. So, right-handed. Yeah, it's hard. Let me try it. Here, come on, baby. Light my fire. There we go. I'll tell you what, if you're an outsider and somehow you're still watching this 30 minutes in, you probably think this sounds like shit. But if you're like a spinner audio file, you probably are like, yeah, baby, there you go. It's so funny how weird we are. But anyway, I spun this one time. And I was like, that's going right to the front. But, you know, then I pick up the Tungsten OG. I hear that buzz. And I'm like, you know what? That one goes to the top. And then I pick up my mini Collision. And I'm like, oof, nah, that goes to the top, right? Grab the Zirc one. Listen to the buzz. Nah, that one goes. You know, so it's like, it's an ever-changing thing to where you carry something, you get used to how it fires, how it feels in the hand, the pocket, and all those things. And, you know, you end up loving that one more that day. And that's just how it goes. So anyway, that's my KAP collection currently. I don't have any others like coming or being made. I, you know, sort of put a hiatus on it while I was waiting for this package because it just was, you know, I had so much stuff coming. I had like, I mean, this stuff is not cheap, guys. I think the Tungsten Collision was like $320 or something. I know this one was, I believe. And then this one was $270. This one was $180. This was $135. This was free, but it's $125. And then you count the buttons, they're all $190. So that's $800 in buttons. $800 in buttons. Plus, call it $250 for these two, right? So that's what, $1,050 right there. And then you add 3, 6, 9, and call this one, you know, 150 or whatever to round all that out. So 369 and 150. So 1050 again. So we're at 21. If I can do math, $2,100 on the table right now in just KAP products. You know, that doesn't count all my other spinners that I own or have on the way, and the buttons I'm having made for them. I mean, it's insane. It really is. This one alone was like $325 or something, I think. They get pricey, guys. And then this one was, I don't know, $250, I think. This was the better buy. I'm an idiot. I also have the bearing tool from KAP. That was $55, so call it $2,200 all in for KAP right now. Oh, plus the bearings. Shit. The C bearings are not cheap, guys, or the A bearings. It's 5 of them cost you $75 for the C bearings, and I just bought 3 packs of that, 15 of them. So that was Jesus Christ, over $200. Am I right? 125? No, 200 even basically. For the 3 sets, yeah, I'm like, it's $2,500. It's insane. Obviously, it's not all at once, and there's other stuff involved and whatever, but like, you know, it's just crazy. So, yeah, insane. So, let me know what you guys think down below. What's your favorite KAP product, if you have a favorite KAP product? I can't pick, apparently. Flavor of the day kind of situation. And they're all amazing. They really are. Here's a chorus for you on the way out. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day. And I will KAP you later.